It's quite scary to think that I've been responsible for my own income for nigh on 30 years. Now, you might think in that time that I've got it all sorted out. I'm all smooth. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. No more doubts, no more hiccups. This ship is running smoothly. Well, I've got an uncomfortable truth for you. You never really get things sorted out. And in this video, I'm going to tell you actually why that's a good thing. My name's Mike and I help solopreneurs and small teams tell their own stories by telling my own in its own messy and unraveling kind of way. It's a real journey of a real business while I just try and figure out life. And today I'm going to break down why experience doesn't necessarily equate quality and why that could well be your competitive advantage. So sometime last year I was talking to a 30-something, let's say, business coach who in the middle of the conversation said to me, well, I'd imagine by the time you get to your age, well, you've got it all sorted out. I kind of understood why she thought that, particularly I may have already said to her that in my head I'm still 37, but I'm knocking 30 years older than that now. So here's the thing that kind of intrigues me. We live in a world where business experience is some kind of linear video game. You go from inexperienced to experienced, and by the time you get to experience, well, you're well and done. You start at level 1 and then you go through all the grades until you get to the end and you think, yeah, I'm done. I've accomplished this business thing. I get it often. Younger people, I mean much younger than me, look at me with a certain amount of trepidation and a certain amount of envy. Like we or like me or people like me are walking around as though we've got some kind of experience or some kind of secret. So the grey hair unlocks some magic potion that gives it all away. But you know what's insidious about this? It creates shame. Then you get brilliant business people apologising because they haven't got it all sorted out. As though there's some kind of arbitrary timeline where we're supposed to have all kind of got this all ready and all done. And I'll be honest, I thought that at one stage until almost quite recently. I thought there was some kind of promised land, some kind of El Dorado that I was working towards. Someday there's this kind of flash of light, you hit this kind of plateau and, well, it's all sorted, it's all fine, no more worries. But the world isn't like that. Situations change all the time. And so do our relationships with the world. My relationship with the world has changed immeasurably over the last 20 years, and so will yours. Almost every day, especially at the moment, we're being thrown new challenges. So what worked 5, 10, 20 years ago does not work now. And we have to adapt. And here's something I've learnt over the last 30 years, let's say in the trenches, that every culture has this, but in different ways. In Japan, they talk about continuous improvement, the kaizen, the idea that you never stop getting better. And I quite like that, actually. Silicon Valley, it's all about failing fast, move forward and break things, as someone used to say. And science backs it up. The discovery of neuroplasticity means that we now understand that our brains continue developing well into our 80s, luckily. I know someone in their 80s, well into their 80s, just starting up a new business, starting again. And why not? I think that's glorious. I guess the light bulb moment with me was over 4 or 5 years ago, probably during COVID, after we lost my mother, actually. And I suddenly realised, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Why have you not achieved what you wanted to achieve? And yes, there was a certain amount of shame there, but that was a useful vehicle for me to point out to myself that life is always changing. And then it kind of just struck me. The goal was never to achieve perfection, was never to arrive at the destination. It was always about getting better at navigating the uncertainty. So consequently, things will never be sorted out. There will never come a day in your life, in your business, where you get to that bus station of eternity. Simply because the world changes practically every day. Technology changes, markets change, people change. So what worked 5 years ago definitely doesn't work today. And the sheer truth is that at my grand old age of 66, I'm far happier not knowing stuff now than I did when I was 26. 26, I really wanted to know everything. And it took me a long time to realise that that's just impossible. And this is not because I don't have any more answers or I've given up trying to find answers. It's just that I trust my ability now to find them. I can work things out. No longer do I say I'm making things up as I go along. I say I'm working things out as I go along. And that takes the pressure off. The relief of not having to find all the answers straight away, knowing that they're there somewhere, I just need to find them, and that's fine. And confidence comes from accepting change, not trying to avoid it. So where am I now in this story? Because this is the center of the story, is that the story is all about change. And adaptability and curiosity have become a core business skill. And these are also the center of your story. It's the ability to be curious and say, what would happen if we did this? Or what would happen if we did that? Because curiosity is a birthplace of creativity. And as a side note, if you think you're not creative, just try and be curious. And I'm using this point of curiosity to help other business owners reach the point of accepting the fact that this is the journey, and the journey is the point of it. The destination, if it comes to it, is not a place you want to get to, because the destination is the end. So if you're looking for that magical moment where everything just suddenly becomes easy street, give up, because it just doesn't exist. And the easy street is in fact now. You don't need to worry about that. So I'd love to hear from you. What is the thing that you thought by now, well, however old you are, that you thought you'd have sorted out by now? Drop it in the comments and just normalize this part of the business journey, that things never actually get sorted out. And if this resonated with you and you'd like some more of this stuff, well, do the YouTube stuff, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Me from the future here. If you're one of those people that wants to get started telling your story, but it's a little bit difficult, you think, well, where do I start? I don't think I've got necessarily anything important to say, or I've got too many things and I don't know how to organise them. Well, click on the link below. I've got a little download for you which will help you how to write about yourself when you have no idea where to start.